Hello students, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see about some of the serial communication protocols, namely RS-232 and RS-482. So RS-232 is a standard which is nominally used in most of the serial communication ports such as modem, keyboards and so on. So this standard is commonly used in computer serial ports as TIA 232F from the 1997 because this particular standard is being introduced in 1962 by Electronic Industries Alliance. So after 1988, it was handed over to the Telecommunication Industries Association. So afterwards, it has been updated and it was finalized by 1997 as TAA 232F standard. So in this particular slide, we are seeing the particular RS-232 female connector. There are some male connectors also, and in this particular slide and in this particular picture, we are seeing the 9-pin configuration. There may be some 25-pin configuration also available. The same technique is going to be used, since that is going to be the reason we are not make it, the 25-pin configuration as in this presentation, since it is going to be the same and it will be dealing with two types of devices at the same time. So we are not going to deal with that in this particular slide. So in this, we are having the pin numbers pin number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 and 9, and we are giving the pin names over here. The first one is the carrier detect. It is an incoming signal from the data communication equipment. So this is going to be the data communication equipment, and this is going to be the data transmission equipments. As we have seen in the previous video, that the UART is going to be the basic algorithm that is being used in RS-232. So in UART, we are using the asynchronous mode of communication. Since it is going to be the asynchronous mode of communication, we are going to deal with the handshaking signals. So the handshaking signals are also being given here. So the handshaking signals are the DTR, the DSR, RTS and the CTS. So whenever the transmitter is going to start the communication, then the RTS signal, that is the request to send, will be given. So at that time, the clear to send will also be given. So after receiving these two signals, the receiver will give if it is going to receive the signal, then it will give the data set ready signal as an acknowledgement signal. So after giving this acknowledgement, the data transmission will be given like we have seen in this particular slide. Like it will be transmitting, that is it will be translating from the mark to the space, that is 1 to 0, then it is going to be the start signal. Then afterwards the 7 bits of data will be available. So after the 8 bits of data, the parity bit will also be sent. So after parity bit, the stop bit will be transition from 0 to 1. So the start signal is transition from 1 to 0, and the stop signal is from transition from 0 to 1. So this is the frame of the data which is being going to be given in an UART or in the RS-232 standard. So this is being given over here also. So if it is going to be the case, then this is how the transmission will be taken place. So at first the data set ready will be given, and clear to send will also be given. So after that, the data set ready signal will be given from the receiver side, and the transmission will be started. So other than this, we will be having the transmission of transmit data and the receive data lines. So these two lines are going to be the part of the full duplex communication, which is going to be taken in the RS-232 cables. And since the RS-232 is being designed for mainly for the model of the communication, we need to have some of the indicators that the uh, the modem is going to be used either for the phone communication, that is the voice communication, or it can be used for data communication. So that signals are being given over here. The first signal is going to be the carrier detect. So if the particular data communication equipment, that is the receiver, is on the line or not, that is uh, going to be indicated by this particular carrier detect, because if the data communication equipment is not been connected, then the carrier detect will not be generated. So the ground signal, as we know, and afterwards we will be having this ring indicator. If the data terminal equipment is not been connected, then the ring will not be generated. So that ring indicator will be an indication signal for making the particular data terminal equipment to be connected with the particular communication line. So this is how the RS-232 signals will be working. So here we have described this particular discussion over as an points over here. So we will be having the start bit, and afterwards the data bits will be available, and afterwards the parity bit. The parity bit can be odd parity or the even parity. So after reception, the parity bit is going to be checked, and afterwards, depending upon the parity, whether the data bits received are correct for that particular parity or not will be checked. And lastly, we will be given the stop bit, which is going to be the transition from 0 to 1. So here hardware or software handshaking is also possible. Hardware handshaking, the signals whichever we have discussed are going to be the part of hardware handshaking. And in the modern world equipments, the RS-232 is dealt with the software handshaking also. The software handshaking will also be having these type of signals, and the signal transmission and the checking of the signals will be taken care by the softwares which is been installed in the modem, uh, which is used in the computers. So those type of details will not be given because this is going to be the basic slide. So I have not given those software handshaking modes. So the electrical specifications are one of the important one for the RS-232 standard. Uh, we are having RS-232 is using a ground and a 5-volt level signal. So the binary 0 will be the +5 to the +15, or the on will be given as a 0 volt to +5 volt +15 volt DC, or the binary 0 will be given as a 0 volt. So the binary 1 will be the voltage up to -5 volt to -15 volt, and the binary 0 will be given as +5 volt to +15 volt. So the receiving signal can have the binary 0 as the receiving signal as 3 volt to the 13 volt DC, and the binary 1 will be given as the -3 volt to -13 volt. The line that is being connected as a transmission and the reception pins, those are going to be the full duplexing mode, but the line impedance is going to be a matter of communication communication line that will be having the 3 ohms to 7 ohms at maximum cable length of the 15 meters. So if that particular impedance has not been matched with that particular cable, means the external uh, terminal finishing resistors will be connected in order to having the the signal source to be transmitted from the transmitted side to the reception side, because the line impedance is a very important parameter that will be giving power to the signal to be transmitted from the transmitter to the receiver. So that line impedance should be matched, and that matching can be given by the external resistors also if the specified resistance is not been available in that particular cable. The current rating will be the 3 amps maximum, and the dielectric strength that have to be 1000 volt AC minimum to withstand the voltage. The slow rate will be 30 volt per microsecond. So if the slow rate uh, is not been uh, tolerated by that particular device or the particular cable, then the cable will be discarded from the standard. And the standard bit rates will also be given, since the RS-232 is being used for long transmission from 15 meters to the 50 meters, and the standard baud rates are going to be 14,400, 28,800, and the 33,600. So the standard baud rate will be 9,600, and afterwards if the distance is going to be increased, the baud rate will also be going to be increased. So for that, for every maximum length of transmission, we will be having this kind of standard baud rates. So the meaning of the baud rate is given as the maximum bit rate that can be attained in a particular communication equipment. That is, the maximum bits per second will be given as an baud rate. So the limitations are going to be given in this particular slide. The maximum baud rate, that is 19,200 at the maximum length of the 20 meter, is going to be the maximum bit rate that can be programmed. So after 20 meters, if you are going to have the maximum baud rate, then the signal will be getting distorted. The common ground is required in this particular RS-232, and that is the reason for the RS-232 is going to be used for the shorter cables. Shorter cables means we can use this RS-232 up to 50 meters only. So this is going to be a big limitation in case of RS-232, because this particular limitation will be taken as serious as possible in long transmission. That is, the industries whichever being said as a power industry or car industries, automation industries in particular, the data transmission is being required for greater than 50, 100 or 500 meters also. So for that particular amount of data transmission, the RS-232 will be having some of the limitations in the baud rate, because the baud rate is going to be increased, then the length can be increased. But if the baud rate is going to be increased, then the crosstalk will be the main issue in case of the RS-232. This crosstalk is introduced by the capacitive effects in the cables. So that can be only be came out with the RS-482 only. We will be seeing in this video itself. So the voltage levels are not compatible for the TTL and the CMOS logics. That is going to be a big limitation for RS-232. Otherwise, the RS-232 is very much good for the shorter lengths, that too between 50 meters. So the RS-232 having the mechanical characteristics as some of the connectors will be having 15 pins, 25 pins and the 9 pins. Some of the pins may be available with the 45 pins also. So the connectors has been given over here. This particular Ethernet cable is been one of the RS-232 cable only, but it will be having 45 pins. So the next will be the RS485 standard. RS485 standard is going to be a longer transmission protocol, and the RS232 supports multiple devices on the same bus, and it will be used using as a differential voltages in the twisted pair of cables. So what does it means? The differential voltage and the twisted pair of cables means in RS232 we will be having the binary 0 as plus 15 to the plus 5 volt to plus 15 volt, and the binary 0 will be minus 5 volt to minus 15 volt, and we will be having the ground. Since the all of the equipments which are used in the industries may have the neutral shiftings, so due to the neutral shiftings the ground will also be varied. So due to that we will be having the binary 0 or binary 1, the decision of that particular levels will be getting distorted due to the changing in the ground levels. So that particular is a main disadvantage, or we can say it is a main limitation of the RS232. So that limitation can be taken care by the RS485, because the RS485 is using the differential voltage in twisted pair of cables. So what does it mean? The twisted pair of cables is been given in this particular slide, that the cable is going to be twisted eventually. So since this is going to be the twisted cable, then we will be having the magnetic fields that are going to be generated by the way of current flowing will be cancelled each other, so that the magnetic fields will be cancelling each other, so that the noise will be reduced due to the interferences due to the longer transmissions. Also, the voltages which are going to be measured in the lines will be taken as a differential of the voltages. We will not uh, we will not measure the voltage across a line with respect to the ground. We will be measuring the voltage with respect to the cables itself. We will not have the ground reference, so that we will be assigning either binary 0 or binary 1 to a particular voltage level with respect to the voltages across the two lines. So that particular voltage will be given as a differential one. So we will be having that particular advantage over this RS485, and the this RS485 can be used for connecting the multiple devices. So the faster communication is also possible due to the lower operating voltages, and we can use the terminating resistors using the 12 kilo ohm resistors as terminations in order to avoid the reflections. So if we are having the terminal resistances, we can avoid the reflections, and it is possible to connect to 32 devices. If the higher resistance are going to be used, up to 256 devices can also be connected. The internetworking between the multiple transceivers is also possible. If the repeaters are going to be used, then we can use several thousand devices can be connected between the multiple kilometers also. So this is going to be a biggest advantage in RS485 standard. So here we have given the standard connection procedure for an RS485 cable. So here it is going to be a node 1 and node 1A, node N1 up to node N. We can connect with between this particular twisted cables. So the twisted cables are going to be connected between the devices, and the devices are being connected with their standard resistances. That is going to be a standard 12 kilo ohm. If it is going to be within the 32 devices, then we can increase the resistances also, so we can increase the devices also. So the devices will be having the architecture like this. We will be having some of the buffers. So the buffers are going to be connected with as a full duplex mode of buffers, because this is going to be a reception mode of buffer and this is going to be a transmission mode of buffers. So we will be having the input, the A input can be taken as the input for the particular reception mode of buffer, and also for the transmission mode of buffer, and also the B device can also be given as an input to the receiver and the transmission buffers. So afterwards the particular enabling bits and the transmission data bits can be taken out as RE, that is RE is going to be the reception enable and DE is going to be the transmission enable, and D is going to be the transmission bit. So this particular device, that is the buffer device, that is RS485 controller device, can be connected to an UART bit, like the reception line is going to be connected with the R, and the input output read or write the particular handshaking signals are going to be connected with the enable pins of the RS485 hardware. So after connecting this, if you are going to connect, if you are going to transmit a particular bit, that bit can be transmitted using the UART protocol that we have seen just earlier. Using that particular transmission from the UART, the bits can be transmitted to the to either from the transmission buffer, or it can be received using the receiver buffer. So the particular network traffic can also be taken care by the traffic controller that is being used with the RS485. So here we have this is how we can explain the operation of the RS485 protocol. So here we have given some of the characteristics that can be used as an difference between the RS432, RS422 and RS485, and this particular uh, uh, slide will be giving some of the informations over the particular protocols. So the network topology is going to be RS230 for RS232. It is going to be for point-to-point network, and for RS485 and 422 it will be as an multi-drop or multi-point. Multi-point means we will be having multiple masters and multiple slaves. So the maximum distance that can be attained using the RS432 is going to be 15 meters, and RS485 it is going to be 1200 meters. The maximum speed at the 12 meters it will be 20 kbps, and it will be 35 mbps. And the maximum speed at the 1200 meters it is going to be 1 kbps, and it is 100 kbps. The slow rate can be adjustable to the 30 volts per microseconds, and it is not applicable for the RS485 because it is having differential voltage in the transmission between the A and B pins of the RS485 hardware. And the receiver input resistance and the load impedances also be given, and the difference, the main difference that we need to note here is the maximum slow rate. This maximum slow rate is being used for avoiding the reflections over the signals. It limits the maximum speed of communication. Since we are having the maximum slow rate has been defined for the RS232, and it is not applicable for this RS485 because the maximum slow rate can be adjusted using the terminal resistances which we are using. So if you are using the higher amount of terminal resistances, then we avoid the reflections. So the reflections will be the cause for the crosstalks over the communication lines. The voltage level is also be reduced. The second point we can note here is the voltage levels are going to be reduced for the faster networks. So if the higher bit rate is wanted, then the voltage rate should be reduced. So this is the information that we can decode from this particular slide. Thank you.